Lucy Ford claims her roommate agreed to split the proceeds from selling their litter of puppies, but kept the cash instead. Sylvia Parish says she was tired of Miss Ford owing her money. Miss Parish is countersuing for $2,250.
All right, Ms. Ford, you are suing Ms. Parish for $1,875 that you say she owes you for the sale of puppies that are half yours, and you are counterclaiming against her for rent that she didn't pay and utilities. Let me start with you, Ms. Ford. How is it that you two met?
Sure. We met while working in a temp job at a corporate company, administrative type work. And
how long ago?
3 years ago.
Okay.
Now, yeah. And so she ended up getting a full-time position, good for her, and I was not able to get a full-time position, but we did stay in touch because we were friends, and we talked on the phone, and I did let her know that I was struggling financially and struggling to find work, and while we were on the phone one day, she was like, well, I need a roommate, so she invited me to move in with her. And I came. You
didn't have a job when she invited you to move in with her?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Did you have any savings?
I had some savings. I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much was the rent supposed to be?
$1,000. She said she was thinking of doing for rent.
And what did you say? Yes, okay, that's fine.
I brought $1,000 for the first month rent because I did want to show I was there to be a good roommate. But I did also clarify from the beginning that I was not employed at the time. So I did pay that first
Right, but
month.
I mean, what was the rent going to be? She needed a roommate. It was.
And here we go, the first red flag. Lucy moves in without a job and brings $1,000 like it is a goodwill deposit. Rent was $1,000. She knew that. But now
I imagine then that kind of sounds like utilities are included, but I know that you're suing for the utilities, and we'll talk about that in a second. But all right, so all she mentions is $1,000. You agree to $1,000. You pay her $1,000, and month two, what do you do?
Well, month two, I'm still unemployed. So I do give her $500, just as, again, a good faith movement.
No, it's rent. It's not good faith. It's not nice. It's not as a favor. It's rent. Go on.
Well, that could have also been clarified earlier about the
I'm sorry, what did you think was happening? You got your own room, right?
I did get my own room, and she's my friend.
The last place where you were at, did your landlord have to clarify every month what the rent was, or did your landlord
Well, we had a contract.
Yeah, okay, well, you can have a verbal contract though, right?
I don't think that was ever really specified.
What do you mean? You were paying, the rent is $1,000 and you're moving in. Like, how much more has to be specified? Did you think rent was gonna change every month depending on what you felt you could pay?
No, I felt like it was, I'm looking for $1,000, kind of up for conversation.
Well, did you have any other conversation and say I can only afford $750?
I did.
When did you have that conversation? Month two after you moved in?
Yeah.
You're right. I mean beforehand, so that everybody is on the same page.
What? Two unneutered dogs of opposite genders living together, and they did not see it coming?
That's correct.
Neither is yours.
Correct.
Your dog is a girl or boy?
A girl.
Your dog is a boy. So what happened?
Well, my dog, Lola, a golden retriever, got pregnant.
And what is your dog?
A doodle.
Okay. And, wow, we didn't see that coming, right? Like, did you guys really not see that coming?
No, we didn't plan for that.
Well, you may not have planned it, but if you had the dogs around each other and then they're in heat, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to do what animals do, right? Did you tell her, oh, our dogs did it behind our back?
Yeah. No, I mentioned it for
And you were both happy, though. You weren't upset.
Well, we were like, puppies are adorable.
Okay.
You know, so.
All right. And what was the plan, though? Were you going to keep all these puppies, or the plan was to sell them?
Well, I knew that we could sell them for a significant amount of money.
Like how much?
Between $2,000 to $8,000. Golden doodles are very expensive dogs.
What dog did you have?
I had the golden retriever, the female.
And you had a what?
A labradoodle.
A labradoodle. Well, it kind of depends on the pedigree of the dogs, how much you can sell them for.
Both of our dogs were purebred dogs.
Now we are in full betrayal mode. Sylvia sold 4 puppies while Lucy was at work, and get this, without telling her. That is not taking initiative.
You end up deciding to sell the puppies at $750 apiece.
And later,
stump removal, as I explained to Ms. Howard, is something that is a much more entailed job. It requires heavy machinery, and that is not...
Did you ever tell her that beforehand?
Yes, Your Honor.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888 552-6878. This is Justice for the People with Judge Millian. We're back with a dispute between Lucy Ford and her former roommate, Sylvia Parish, over a litter of golden doodle puppies.
There are two different contracts between you two.
Yeah.
And be there no mistake, they are contracts. Whether they're written or verbal, they are contracts. One of them is she pays $1,000 rent a month. And the other one is we split the sale of the puppies, right?
Yes.
50-50.
Yes.
So there's two contracts that are going on here, all right? And then you took it upon yourself to, offset one against the other, but then you end up deciding to sell the puppies at $750 a piece.
Well, also as a friend at the time, I don't want to put her out. I'm trying to be as lenient.
Why don't you talk to her as a friend? Like, why don't you tell her, listen, you owe rent, I'm going to sell the puppies, I need the money, and you're not going to get any of it. I'm going to sell it for whatever I want. How
As I
about
said,
that?
she was
If you're really
very-
friends and trying to keep the friendship, how about communication?
She was very dismissive every time I tried to communicate.
Yeah, I know, so say it at her. You sold them for how much? $750? How did you not know they were being sold? Like, were they sold to the same person? Were they sold all on the same day? What is it that
This
went up?
part is heartbreaking. One of the puppies ends up sick in the hospital, and it turns out the litter was sold at 4 weeks, half the recommended age. That is not just questionable. That is borderline.
I did have it planned if she didn't come to me sooner with rent that I was going to take initiative myself and just sell the puppies and get what was owed.
Why didn't you just talk to her about that?
I just feel like, again, every time I tried to communicate, she just dismissed me.
What happened to the fifth puppy?
The fifth puppy actually had a virus in its lungs, so it ended up in the hospital.
And where is it now?
I'm still paying for its medical care.
Is it still in the vet?
Yes.
At the vet hospital?
Yes.
Has she sued you for half of the vet care of the fifth dog?
Well, I've paid for the initial vaccines for the puppies. What I'm actually a little upset about is that you're supposed to keep puppies with their mom for 8 weeks, and she sold them at 4 weeks.
How did you even do that? Why did you do that? Because it is true you're supposed to keep puppies with the mom for 8 weeks. Why did you sell them at 4? It's kind of irresponsible.
Yes. Again, at the time, I'm just taking the initiative because I needed what you owed. You put me in a financial
That doesn't change
hole.
when you should sell the puppies. You should sell the puppies when it's best for the puppies and the mom, not when it's best for you, when you need the cash, and you need the cash, and you do it behind her back. Jeez.
And I'm sorry, if I may, the fifth puppy probably wouldn't be sick also if they had received better care, so.
And now, where are you? You're not living together anymore.
No.
All right, and you are
Now this is courtroom gold. Judge Milan spells it out. There were 2 separate verbal contracts, one for rent and one for the puppy.
Utilities as well. And why should I force her to pay utilities when that was never discussed?
Just out of how lenient I've been with her and everything that I've done up until this point, I feel like she's
I mean, if you knew that she
taken
didn't have a steady job, why would you want her as a roommate? Like, I would understand why you'd want to help her out, but why would you want her as a roommate who's paying and then be shocked and appalled that she didn't pay if she still hadn't
I
been
thought
able?
by the second month I would definitely see a turnaround, and that didn't happen.
Do you think she was lazy? Or do you think she was just unlucky and was trying hard?
I think she was a little bit all over the place. Like, she never knew what she wanted to do with her life. I constantly gave her advice. I motivated her to try new things and new opportunities, and she was just very stagnant.
Okay. How are you living now? Did you get a job?
I did, thank you.
Okay, and do you have roommates or?
I do.
Do you have another roommate?
I do. I have a new tenant, and they now pay $1,300 plus the utilities. So that's
Right.
been a great situation.
Okay. All right, so everybody's happy. So now what we got to do is we got to figure out where money goes, okay, where money's owed, all right? She's suing for half of what you sold the puppies for, including half of the one you kept, and valuing it at $750, even though she feels like she could have sold them for between $2,000 and $8,000, right? Then you feel that what you're entitled to is the rent that you were supposed to be paid, plus for good measure, now you got to pay utilities, even though we never talked about that. I'm going to enforce the contracts you guys actually had. And so she owes you $2,250 in rent, and you owe her $1,875.
Drum roll, please. After deducting rent and adding puppy profits, The judge lands the plane with a $375 net judgment.
Money's from the dog, and the difference is $375. Verdict for the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Millian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff owes $375.
I'll see you in court again.
See you here again.
Okay. Exit this way, please.
Coming up,
She also wants you to remove all the roots.
Yeah, everything.
And you'll
Those
do that
roots
for $300?
We will do it for her for $300 if she remits the $400.
Yeah, the
that she owes
$400.
us. Yeah.
And just when you thought things could not get more grounded, we jump into a brand new battle over tree stumps.
You are suing Ms. Howard for $400 that you say is the balance owed for your tree removal services. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, Ms. Howard contracted my company, landscaping company, to have 2 very large trees removed from the front
How
yard.
large were they?
40-foot pine trees, Your Honor. And we did so. She had a recommendation from a friend of hers, Mary, that we had done a very similar job for. And we agreed to a price, $1,000.
To remove both of them?
To remove both of them for $1,000, to clean up all the debris and have that debris dumped. And upon completion of the job, Ms. Howard refused to pay the rest
Remaining
of the money,
balance.
the $400.
And why
yes.
did she refuse? Did she tell you why?
Well, she wasn't satisfied with the job. She says that the stumps were not removed with the removal of the trees.
How high up did you leave the stump?
The stump is about 1.5 feet off.
A foot and a half from the
A foot and a
ground?
half from the ground. But the stump removal, as I explained to Ms. Howard, is something that is a much more entailed job. It requires heavy machinery, and that is not a part of the basic tree removal
Did you ever
service.
tell her that beforehand?
Yes, Your Honor. The job that
I'm
Mary
not
Emerson...
asking you to repeat yourself. I'm asking you, did you tell her beforehand, stump not included, when you
I
quoted
don't believe
her
she
that
asked, Your Honor.
Say it again.
I don't believe she asked us that.
Okay, so the subject never came up about
No.
stumps. All right.
coming up.
So are you suggesting to him that you discuss with him, I need you to pull out all of the roots?
Well,
I don't think
that's-
either one of you talked about any of this. I think it's just, can you get this tree now? Yeah, I'll get
This
the tree.
is where it gets murky. Austin says stump removal was never part of the deal. Florence says tree removal meant everything, roots and all. And honestly,
To the
both
future growth of the tree, as
Yes,
in,
ma'am.
it
Yeah, but
doesn't.
the roots still are active.
Well,
and
I mean, so are you suggesting to him that you discuss with him, I need you to pull out all of the roots?
Well,
I don't think
that's-
either one of you talked about any of this. So I wonder if you're not in a position where you should be telling her, hey, if you want the stump removed, it's X. If you don't, it's Y. Rather than having, her being surprised as a first-time tree cutter that there's a stump issue.
Yeah, I'm absolutely empathetic to that, Your Honor. The job that Mary Emerson, the person who referred her to us, had done was just the tree
it's
that's
the same
standard
thing.
across
It's two 40-foot trees,
Yes.
and you're charging $1,000 to remove two 40-foot trees. That's
Yes.
a lot of work.
We gave her
get
a
that.
discounted rate as well
I get
for
that.
it.
Did you ever say to him, I need
did
the
not,
stumps
Your
removed, I
Honor.
want all those roots removed? Did you ever say, did
No,
you realize
but
that you were going
I
to get all
know
that done
nothing-
for $1,000?
This is my first experience having trees removed, so I have no knowledge. When he says tree removal, at the time before he cut the tree down, the roots and the stump were part of the tree. I figured the whole thing was going to be removed.
You don't just want the stumps ground, you want all the roots removed too.
Right.
We told her we would be happy to do it once she remits the rest of the payment to us. the
How much more
$400
would you charge her to get the
At a
stumps?
discounted rate, Your Honor, $300 extra.
Oh, my
and that
God.
is a discounted rate. And that requires, as I said, heavy equipment.
Yes, it
We have to
does.
split down the stumps. And as I said, we'd be
Wait,
happy
but that's
to do
not
it.
enough. She also wants you to remove all the roots.
Yeah, everything. And
you'll
those
do that
roots
for $300?
We will do it for her for $300 if she remits the $400.
yeah, the
that she owes
$400
us. Yeah.
Lady.
Judge Milan just criticized the entire landscaping industry. Stop hiding the real cost. Be transparent. That was not just a verdict, it was a public service.
This is what this costs, and this is what that costs. Just seems to me like it would be so much clearer if you explained this to all of the homeowners instead of having them guessing. Having said that, however, I have no words to describe to you how inexpensive this job was.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling you because I've been there, I've done it, and it is a bear. Two 40-foot trees for $1,000. I strongly suggest, well, first of all, I'm going to order you to pay him the $400, but I very, very strongly suggest that you negotiate with him those stumps, because the stumps are going to cost you so.
You know, a courtroom moment is legendary when the judge. 2 cases, 2 lessons. Case 1, roommate arrangements with